Everyone, welcome back to the channel with me, the layman apologist. This is the show The Faith in 5, where I explain core Christian truths in 5 minutes or hopefully less. Now today I'm going to be tackling a huge topic, one that would normally need more than 5 minutes, but it's one of the most beautiful, mysterious truths at the heart of Christianity. It's called the Hypostatic Union, and that's the union of the two natures, the divine and the human, in the one person of Jesus Christ. I'm going to attempt to explain this in a way where you can articulate it better in 5 minutes or less. So, this doctrine reminds us that Jesus is truly God, truly man, united in the one person of Christ forever. So, let's break it down. What does the hypostatic union mean? Well, the word hypostatic simply comes from the Greek word hypostasis, meaning person or individual reality. So then, the hypostatic union is just the theological term we give for the union of the two complete natures of Christ, the divine and the human, united in the one person of Jesus Christ. So that means that Jesus is not two persons, as if divine Jesus and human Jesus were taking turns, nor is it a mixture as if his humanity and his divinity became some secret third substance. Instead, he is the one divine person, the eternal Son of God, who took on a true human nature without ceasing to be God. Or as Gregory of Nazianzus put it, remaining what he was, he became what he was not. Now, I would honestly recommend you pause right there and take that quote down. It's powerful. So, we affirm one person, two natures, and this is crucial because it often gets butchered. Jesus is one divine person with two distinct natures. That's the divine and the human. This was affirmed at the Council of Chalcedon in 451 AD, which affirmed the Christ, who is one and the same Christ, Son, Lord, only begotten, to be acknowledged in two natures, without confusion, without change, without division, or without separation. So he's not God disguised as man, nor is he a man who became God. Instead, he is the eternal Son, the second person of the Trinity, who assumed a true human nature for our salvation. And this is why it's important to understand the hypostatic union. Now, here's a question within a question. Did Jesus have two wills? The answer is yes. Since will is a property of nature, and Jesus has both a divine and a human nature, Jesus has two wills. This was affirmed at the Third Council of Constantinople, 681 AD, defending the truth that Jesus had a human will that he submitted perfectly to the divine will. We see an example of this in Scripture in the Garden of Gethsemane in Luke 22:42, where Jesus says, "Not my will be done, but yours." This wasn't inner conflict. It was the Son of God in his humanity obeying the Father perfectly on our behalf. Now, Jesus has a divine will, always in union with the Father and the Spirit, but he also has a human will that is perfectly obedient and never rebellious. And this is essential. So, Jesus experienced real, true humanity. Jesus didn't float through life untouched by pain or weakness. In fact, Scripture shows us in Luke 2:52 that Jesus grew in wisdom. In John 4:6, he got tired. Matthew 4:2 and John 19:28, he was hungry and thirsty. John 11:35, he wept. And Hebrews 2:9, he suffered and died. Yet at the same time, he remains fully divine, because in Mark 2:5, he forgives sins. Mark 4:39, he stilled the storm. John 20:28, he received worship. And in John 10:18, we see that he rose himself from the dead. Both natures always present, acting through the one person, the eternal Son. So, why does the hypostatic union matter? So this doctrine is not just some weighty theological head knowledge that's meant only for pastors and theologians. It's the very foundation of our hope, because Jesus is fully God, his death was of infinite worth, and because he is truly man, he can stand in our place. He didn't just come to save us from a distance, rather he stepped into our very humanity, into our weakness and our sorrow, to redeem us from within. Even now, the risen Christ remains the God-man, seated at the right hand of the Father, interceding for us as our high priest. Hebrews 4:15 says, we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses. Jesus knows. He understands. He's walked in our shoes, and he's overcome. So, what is the hypostatic union? It's not just weighty head knowledge, folks. It's the absolute breathtaking mystery that God became man without ceasing to be God. That Jesus is one divine person with two natures, not divided, not confused, but perfectly united. And he did it to save us. He did it to save me, and he did it to save you. So folks, thank you very much for watching The Faith in 5. Please like, share the video. We've gone slightly over 5 minutes, but we've still done it in 5 minutes, just not the last part. So honestly, folks, thank you for listening. Please share this video, and if you've enjoyed it, leave a like and a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. God bless, folks.